Back to Texas, where the migrant crisis still going on. By the way, they're dealing with this weather as well down there. All of these migrants who are not prepared for temperatures that cold in Texas. The Texas Governor Greg Abbott just announced that his state is going to have a border czar for the very first time in history, basically because Vice President Kamala Harris has not done a thing to address the crisis there. Listen.
Well, combating illegal immigration in Texas is a full-time job. It's a job that requires a leader whose only focus is responding to President Biden's open border policies. Today, I'm announcing a border czar to fulfill that mission.
All right, joining us now for more is former acting CBP Commissioner and Heritage Foundation visiting fellow and Mark Morgan. And Mark, good morning to you. So obviously, this is great that Texas is doing this.
Absolutely. Well, look, once again, Governor Abbott is on the front line of trying to do what this administration refuses to do, and that's secure our border to protect the American people. Look, through Operation Lone Star, through building Texas's own wall, they've done an incredible job. But at the end of the day, they're still hamstrung because enforcing illegal immigration and securing our borders ultimately is the job of the federal government. So at the end of the day, the states can only do so much, regardless of all the things that Governor Abbott have done. At the end of the day, the duty falls upon the federal government, and they're not doing what they should be doing.
Yeah, Abbott tapping veteran Border Patrol agent Mike Banks to serve as the border czar down there. This is really embarrassing, by the way, Mark, for the Biden administration. Do you expect other states on the southern border, so California, Arizona, New Mexico, to do this? And by the way, do you expect northern states to do this as well? Because the situation has gone from bad to worse up north as well.
That's exactly right. First of all, more states should do this. Governor Abbott said something that's very important. Why you need this border czar. You need an individual who's so focused every single day, 24/7, is doing more to secure our borders, to protect the American people, to stop drugs from coming in, criminals, and potential national security threats. He's absolutely right there. More states should do it. But Rob, thanks for bringing up the northern border. That's all forgotten. It's not just about the southern border. I understand its focus because of the crushing invasion we're having, but our coastal borders, as well as our northern border, represent serious threats as well. What we've seen in the northern border, for example, in the Swanton sector, is a 700% increase over this time last year of those being apprehended illegally entering the border. And there's a multitude of serious threats on our northern border as well. Canadian homegrown violent extremists, the expansive maritime environment that cartels and smugglers take advantage of to not just smuggle people, but also drugs from Canada into the United States. And as far as resources go, the northern border has fewer resources and technology and personnel than the southern border. In fact, a lot of the people and resources on the northern border are pulled away to go down and help with the southern border, making our northern border even more vulnerable.
Northern border, 5,000 miles. It's a lot bigger than the southern border. That sector that you just talked about, that's New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, right? So those three states in particular. Right. Where are the majority of these migrants coming in via the northern border coming from? I assume they're not Canadians.
That's correct. Right now, what I've been told, and I could be off by a couple different countries, but it's about around 19, 20 different countries. And it's not real complicated because Canadians' immigration laws are by far more lax than ours. And they're simply just flying in to Canada. And then they're just making their trek across the wide open border. I've been there multiple times. There are areas, Rob, you're not going to believe this, where you can actually go across the water and go up to a phone and self-report because there is no enforcement in many areas along the southwest border. They just don't have the personnel.
Talk about
unbelievable.
A bad time of year to be crossing the northern border. You do it in New York, you're in the Adirondacks. You do it in Vermont, the Green Mountains, New Hampshire, the White Mountains. This time of year, not a great environment to be on foot.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
That's absolutely. We just recently had a family die of the frigid temperatures trying to illegally enter. But guess how many mainstream media has covered that?
Yeah,
Zero.
I bet a big goose egg there.
None.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Mark, we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks for being with us. We'll do it again soon. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you both.